today's Spiritual Gossip, and I'm coming early this morning. It is July 25th, and I'm doing a video for the Saturn Worship and how a lot of the deities and stuff of the Old Testament and a lot of these religions it's Saturn worship in so many ways. Okay, and the main one is the star Ramfram. Okay, they're sacrificing, and it's Moloch, and a lot of it is just pure Saturn worship. Okay, but you can check out Acts chapter 7 verse 43. It speaks about what I'm saying in Exodus 20 verse 4. And you'll see that a lot of that stuff that they're talking about, the God that they're talking about, they're sacrificing to, a lot of that stuff is really just Moloch. And it's all connected to that type of worship and the six-pointed star. But I wanted to read some of this, okay? Oh, wait, I wanted to show this image of what I'm saying about the star. So if we can see it. Okay, it has many names, but the right reference is when it's commonly referred to the seal of Solomon. It is featured as a six-point hexagon star that is comprised with two equal the triangles, right, that overlay each other. It all appears on Semitic people. I don't want to say anything else. Things that are closely linked to Semitic people, as it appears on the flag of the state of Israel, synagogues, tombstones, jewelry, and a range of other Semitic items. There is no scriptural references to this symbol, but if you have seen it on on a certain country's flag, you have seen the star of Ramfram and what it looks like. Okay, so it's that symbol. Okay, and the star is not a symbol that is exclusively belonging to Semitic people. It has appeared in various cultures and practices dating back before Jesus was born. It has been used by Buddhists, Freemasons, Hindus, all pretty much occultic worship of Saturn, and mostly witchcraft. Okay, the veracity of the versatility of. I'm gonna get it together. Sorry, it's early. Let me drink a little coffee because I'm starting to get tongue-tied. Of the star Ramfram, usage by many groups termed evil or devilish has made the symbol that Christians do not want to be associated with, as they believe it is the symbol of the Antichrist for whatever reasons. But like I said, when they get into the Antichrist stuff, people have to understand that that's something completely different. Okay, this symbol has been used as a talisman to conjure evil spirits and using magic and more. So I want people to understand this is not just what we're saying. It literally is. Let me show you this. I want to show you this other symbol without showing you my info. See that? It's been used a lot, but it's all Saturn. It's all Saturn, okay? That's what I said. Really what we're seeing and what we're worshiping is astrotheology. People think, oh, I'm Christian. It's all the same. It's planet worship, and the majority of it is Jupiter or Saturn worship. Jupiter is Zeus. When they talk about Zeus and all, it's the symbolism for it is Jupiter. Like, and a majority of like the movies you see, like Lord of the Rings and all that stuff, it's just Saturn worship. That's all we're really seeing a lot of. It's just Saturn worship. The star of Ramfram is called the Star of Solomon. References the god of Saturn, which was brought to the Semitic people after, I don't want to say certain words, After Solomon was married with many wives and turned his face away from God, and also engaged into the idolatry of that time. And that verse is in 1 King chapter 11, verse 7 through 8. One of his wives is a daughter of a pharaoh in particular, introduced him to these practices. And despite the misconceptions, David's father had nothing to do with this star. That's what I want people to understand. If you go, because they talk about the lineage of David and how it goes into Christ, but people have to understand a lot of them broke off into different worships. Like I said, if you look in, especially in the Old Testament, they speak about Orion. They speak about a lot of astrology in there. And I also did a video I put about Daniel. One of Daniel's greatest gifts, and one of the reasons why he literally saved his own life, was because he was a dream interpreter. He was a magician. He was an astrologer. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let me go to this part I wanted to read to you. As Solomon gave himself devoted himself to these practices, he started building altars for them, for Moloch, Saturn. Okay? Saturn has been vastly associated with Satan, the color black. Because if you go into the Solomon story, he goes, I am black and I'm comely. But I'm trying to tell you, they associated our color black with evil for a reason. It is literally scapegoating. Because if you go into the actual word black, especially from Latin, which I'll do a video on that, it means, it comes from the word blanco, bleach, pale, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so many different meanings, and that's why I said, when we're using these words, we have to understand spells, we're just spells. It's not, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't learn that until later on in life. That's why I said, and the Bible speaks about that as well, the power of the tongue. Okay, and you have to understand, one of the curses was that they'll go into a land where they don't know that tongue, they don't know that language, and we're speaking other people's languages. So literally, we're taking on whatever curse, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want this racial, because this isn't racial. This is about theology, pure theology, and what theology we're actually worshiping. And people have to understand, there is a difference between spirituality and theology. And the truth of the matter is, I don't want to say it's a big difference, but there's a lot of differences in it. And the truth of the matter is, I think we've become so indoctrinated into Saturn worship and into just astral theology in general, and then we've been tricked to believe that everything that is not of Christianity or the major three religions is wrong. But the major three religions are offshoots of astral theology, Saturn worship. So it's like, you see what I'm saying? And I'm trying to break down what it really is and what we're really worshiping. And one thing I really started to understand when I got into my journey of, because I went back to being a Christian. I grew up Baptist and I had left for a while, and then I got more back into Christianity, but I've always been a lover of mythology. So when I started digging more and more, and I said, let me go back to the beginning. What do we really believe, and why do we believe this, and where did it come from? And the more and more you go back, you realize that it really truly is astral theology. It goes back to planet worship. It goes back to deities and what they're sacrificing to, how they rename things, and you see it even in movies now. Like I said, my daughter and I, we were watching The Little Mermaid, and her father literally is Neptune. He has a trident in his hand, all that. It's all the same. Like, it's, anyway, yeah, it's Poseidon. It's Neptune, I believe. Anyway, let me go back. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Okay, so he was married to the daughter of a pharaoh, but she's the one who introduced him to this practice. Okay, so military witchcraft of Kabbalah. Yeah, the worship of Kabbalah. And as Solomon gave himself and devoted his whatever, we did that part. Okay, so for Moloch, which is Saturn, Saturn has been vastly associated with Satan, the color black, and some even argue that Satan was coined from the word Saturn. Okay, also, as we all know, that Saturn is a planet that is the furthest from the sun. Surprisingly, the northern part of the planet has the shape of a hexagon. Okay, and some believe that the sun that they saw then is not the same sun or the same view of the sun. I'm telling you, like, you get more and more into it, you realize, what are we worshiping? And is the God that they're talking about in the Bible, is that the same divine source that we're talking about? Because it's not, but it's a trick. As this information comes as a surprise, we piece them together, and it starts to make sense in the argument that the symbol indeed is evil. There is much evidence to name. So I'm sorry. Let me tell you what, because I've been going through so much of this. It's Avery. It's an article that I've been going through, but I just wanted to kind of read some about the star Ramphram so you can see what I'm saying and its association with Moloch, okay? So some people consider the star evil, some people don't. And I'm not saying that the symbolism is evil. What I'm saying is that it's astral theology. It all goes back to astral theology. It all goes back to planets. I mean, just all this worship is really, it goes back to their deities, their mythology, planets, all that stuff is associated. It's all put together with either evil forces or good forces, and how they use it to do their rituals, who they sacrifice to, what they believe in. It's all those things. And even being a Christian, like I said, growing up Baptist and doing communion, we're not understanding all of the stuff that we're doing is rituals. And I didn't either. Like I said, I was baptized. I didn't understand all this stuff is rituals. Like the communion, you eat the bread, eat the body, drink the blood. That's vampiric. You see what I'm saying? Because why are we drinking, we're drinking the blood of our Savior, you know what I'm saying? Like, but see, as a kid, I didn't understand that. Even growing up, I was like, as a kid, I thought it was weird, but I never, we weren't allowed to question things, especially being, Baptist. You don't question nobody, you know what I'm saying? You don't ask no questions. Sunday school, you don't ask no questions like that because you get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? And people will see you as a non-believer. But the word hex, which is applying to the symbol, is or something is considered to be cursed. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, it's the hexagon. That's a curse. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said I've been going through some of this stuff, and I'm like, it's all. But I just wanted to read this one thing about the star. Okay, the star Ramphram is symbolic and associated with the god Moloch, Saturn. It was first held as nobility in the Bible, as one of the gods of King Solomon. He made an altar and worshipped after marrying the daughter of Pharaoh. So that's the part I wanted to read to you guys, because a lot of the sacrifices and stuff that you're seeing is Saturn. It's Moloch worship. And it goes back to, the Canaanites, Baal. A lot of those things are all associated. Like I said, everything especially in modern society that you're seeing now, is all Saturn worship. It's all Moloch sacrificing and stuff, especially with a lot of the missing children and missing people. It's all associated, okay? Now, Saturn was one of the most expressively mentioned planets in the Bible. So you hear it's so much of it. But I wrote this down on another one. Along with Venus, and earth. It's represented by Shayun and Ramphram in the Bible, and the Hebrews expressed as the planet in charge of the Semitic people. Whenever you see the star Ramphram mentioned in the Bible, it's associated with Saturn. Okay, so when I saw that and I was looking up some other things, because I have a lot of stuff about Saturn and how it's really it's so much. Oh, I wanted to read this part. I'm sorry. Okay, this is what. Also, in ancient and recent manners, it has been used in the work of evil and dark powers and magic, things that are not of God, is what they're saying. Because I was saying, people have to understand, you can use a lot of these rituals and stuff that people talk about. Is People think everything of astrology and all that stuff is bad, and it's not all bad. You can use it in good and you can use it in bad, like everything else. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I hate to do movie references, but like I said, Star Wars and all that stuff is just a prime example of that. You can use it for good, or you can use it for bad. You can conjure up dark spirits, or you can conjure up good spirits. You can use all that in both. And a lot of people don't fully understand that, especially through Christianity, because they make sure that you don't ever touch that or go towards that, because it's looked at as just bad. You know what I'm saying? Really, really bad. But I have these astrology cards, and I wanted to read something about Saturn, okay? Saturn is often considered the father of the cosmos, and it's a father figure, okay? Sorry, it's a little dark. Is associated with discipline and responsibility, also teaches us hard lessons and pushes us towards the right path, whether we like it or not. Saturn helps us learn from previous mistakes as we embark in future projects, encouraging us towards our destiny. Saturn is also associated with personal karma, holding us accountable for our past and decisions and helping us learn from them. Saturn changes signs every 28 to 30 years, okay? But the reason why I wanted to read that is because, like I said, people would think, oh, this is her just talking about, oh, Saturn worship is evil. No, what I'm saying is you can use that energy for good or bad. And what I'm saying is a lot of what we're seeing is them conjuring and using the evil forces of that energy. And a lot of it is just pure Saturn worship. That's all you're seeing. And they control so much of what you see and what you hear. And by doing that, they're making sure that they're using that energy, especially for whatever rituals or whatever they're doing. They're using that energy. And I have this book, and I've been into it. It's The Myths of Saturn, okay? But I'm also going through the Bible, because I want to pull out more of the magicians, the astrologers, and so many of those people of the book, and how it was normal. It was day-to-day practice. It was everything that, like if you look at the story of Moses and his staff, and how he was showing the Pharaoh basically magic. He was showing him that, these are my powers. This is what I'm here to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, if he was supposed to have parted the Red Sea with the staff and everything, isn't that conjuring up forces? It's all it's all magic. It's the same. You know what I'm saying? So I just think we've gotten so much into, and I look at that a lot of as being Christian and being, not just Christian. I don't want to attack Christians, because like I said, I don't attack anybody's religion, that's not what I'm doing here. And they cancel you for even bringing certain names up and stuff, and that's not what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is just explain what we're really seeing. And a lot of people don't understand because what they've done to religion, they've done to race, where they've broken everything off, and it's this, it's that. And if you bring up a certain religion or a certain race, you're considered to be racist, anti this, da 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 da. And and a lot of that is to just stop people from even having the conversation, and to stop people from talking. What I'm saying is what are we worshiping? Because we're told certain things are evil and certain things are this and that, but we're worshiping it anyway. It's in our face. This is what the symbolism means. So if you're telling us this is evil, like I'm also a tarot reader, if you're telling me that tarot is evil and all this stuff is evil, my spirituality is evil, then isn't my Christianity evil? Because what you're doing is the demonic side of a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we really learning and what are we really teaching? So I am here to just basically speak about astral theology. That's really what I want to drive home to a lot of people who click on this video. I'm going to keep it under 30 minutes. A lot of people click on my video and start to understand that I'm learning as well, and that a lot of what we're seeing is just really it's worship of certain deities, certain planets, and it's not what we think it is, because I'm learning that. And I'm going to do also, like I said, I'm a tarot reader. I have many gifts, but and I'm very protective of what that is because of the people that are in charge. But I know a lot of my stuff has been a little shadow banned in certain things, and I know a lot of people on here that are not saying certain things that you're supposed to say, or following into what you're supposed to make videos about. They've been banned and taken off and everything else. So I'm trying to kind of tread lightly a little bit, and I'm gonna do a video next on the astral theology in music, and how you'll hear so many planet references in music and certain things that they're speaking about, that is really truly just music. And I'm going to break down the Future and Nicki Minaj song Transformers. I'm telling you, that's going to help drive home what I'm saying about it. So much of what we're hearing and seeing is just complete planet worship. It's just different symbolisms, different names, but it's all the same because it's all a part of the rituals that you're seeing. To end that, okay, I'm going to do that one, but I'm also going to do a tarot reading. I do tarot readings of different subjects, but one is about kind of some of the visions I've had, downloads and stuff that I've gotten about the world and what's going on in certain things. And that will be on my other channel that I've started. It is Divine Solar Empress. That's where I moved all my tarot. So from now on this channel, Daily Spiritual Gossip is all about the gossip news of spirituality. I just call it gossip, but it could be news. But it's all the stuff that's surrounding our spiritual beliefs, our religion beliefs, astral theology. All that stuff is really just kind of how it all connects, period. So I hope I didn't go too out there, but this video is just really titled Saturn. It's Saturn Worship. And I really wanted to kind of get into what we're seeing, and why you're seeing that, and how important Moloch is in our society, how important this deity is to these people that run our our visuals that we're seeing, that we're hearing, because they worship this deity, and the planet of, and all this stuff is connected, basically what I'm trying to say. And really all it is Saturn. So it's really all it is Saturn worship. And I'm going to do one on Jupiter, because Jupiter is a very interesting, I mean, so many Jupiter, I mean, so much. But yeah, Jupiter, Neptune, and Mercury. I mean, seriously. Oh, and especially Venus. We're actually, I should do Venus next, because we're in Venus retrograde right now. So, but I'm telling you, a lot of the worship that you're seeing is just completely that. Like, a lot of the love stories you see is about Venus and Mars. You know what I'm saying? Because, god of war, and basically the goddess of love. And yeah, you know what? I did the video, and I think I put it on another channel that I started, but I got rid of the channel because I'm trying to separate it so that way I can kind of get my message out there. But I'm gonna redo, because I don't know if I still have it on my file. I'm gonna redo my video about Mars and Venus, and how important that is in the worship of both, and how it's so connected. Into our day-to-day lives, like the love story of Venus and Mars, and just everything, like how it's connected. It's the opposites attract, basically. War and love and war. You get what I'm saying? And through Greek mythology, of course, they had a child. Harmony is where you get the word harmony from. So that's just mythology. But anyway, this is Daily Spiritual Gossip, and what you're seeing is Saturn worship. It's the worship of their deity, Moloch. This is what you're seeing when you see that star. And I don't want to keep saying all that, because that energy, like I said, when you use words, it's spelling, it's energy. And I don't want to keep referring to that in that energy, but what you're seeing is that. And you see a lot of the symbolism in everything that you see, in the people that control us and control, whether it's our internet, where they can go in and out of your apps, all the stuff that you're seeing, the connection between Israel and America, all that stuff is being controlled by people who worship a deity that is not the same deity as you. And you have to say to yourself, it may not be what I believe, but what are the people who control our day-to-day lives, what do they believe? And if they believe something completely different from what I believe, then maybe that's why we're in the condition that we're in, because we don't have the same belief system. So, it is what it is. But anyway, I'm going to go and do a video, a tarot reading for I call it my world news tarot reading, and I'm going to put it on my other channel, Divine Solar Empress, and you can check that out. And I hope that you enjoy the video, you like, subscribe. And this is Daily Spiritual Gossip on this channel, and please like the video, subscribe, and you can also, my information is down in the description. You can definitely support the channel in any way, shape, or form. I would appreciate it, and I thank you. And remember, this is Saturn worship, and the god of Saturn is Moloch. Take care.